All right, guys, we are getting closer and closer to kickoff for the Cleveland Browns as they get ready to host the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Yesterday on this very program, Ross Tucker said it would be a disaster if Cincinnati lost this Week 1 matchup to the Browns. With two former players on the panel and a Bengals fan in bull, I wanted to ask, do you guys get the sense that there is any pressure at all on the Browns in this Week 1 matchup, or is all the pressure on Cincinnati? And if that's the case, how does that benefit Cleveland?
There's pressure on the Browns.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Because when you look at the rest of their schedule, it's going to be hard. This is like the one game that people actually is like, we can see you winning that game because of the history of them starting off slow. When you get past this game, your schedule is significantly tougher. So this thing could get late early if you drop this game. So I think this is a very important game for the Cleveland Browns.
I just think the idea that, like, great players are going to be affected by pressure, I just don't buy that for the most part.
Well, if you're not a great player, if you're affected by pressure.
If you're what?
If you're affected by pressure, you're not a great player.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I just don't buy, like, how much pressure can you be feeling Week 1? Is Joe Burrow going to be affected by the pressure of having to win this game?
No.
I just don't see that.
No.
I think this is such a nothing issue.
Well, the way
every team has pressure to win.
The way
You're a professional athlete.
The way they're going to look at it is it's Week 1. If we lose, like, we got 16 more weeks.
Yeah, I do think the Bengals, and Ross made the point of saying, like, hey, they've treated this preseason totally differently than they have in the past. They never now, he said, well, they never played the guys in the preseason. I think part of that was just because Burrow had not been healthy in the preseason. Mm-hmm. This was his first normal preseason of his career. So maybe they would have played him in the preseason in previous years had he been healthy, but he wasn't able to play.
The funny part would be if the Browns went out there and smacked them. It'd be actually like funny to me because it'd be like y'all put in all this effort.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Y'all needed to play in the preseason.
Yeah.
And you still dropped the first game.
We be forgetting, man. Well, again, I'm. You know what, G. Bush? I'm glad you stay consistent in your heart of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what I said last year. We put way too much stock in the overall arching themes when you come out. When you played in football, we played football Tigers. You know how it is. It's Week 1. Anybody can get smoked week 1 in college football. Anybody. You come out, you don't play your best, you ain't got no scrimmage games. In the first game, you just trying to make it through. You just trying to make it through, do what you need to do. You don't want to put the ball in harm's way. You want to just get through the game. These games are the NFL. Somebody's going to lose their house tomorrow because they're going to bet on something and it's not going to come true, right? These games are separated by 2 to 3 plays over a span of 4 quarters. So my thought is I'm looking at this game, no, it wouldn't be no devastating travesty if the Cleveland Browns beat the Bengals. Bro, like the Browns, like any other team, have professionals. They playing at home. If you come out and you sluggish and they get a couple of scores on you, it is what it is. This ain't like we high school football.
Sure. I mean, I think Ross's point was even less about how bad the Browns are and more just that the Bengals, it seems, have put so much into getting off to a good start because they've gotten off to such bad starts that it would be maybe more devastating than a typical Week 1 loss. Whether that's true or not, who knows?
They will be in that situation. It's going to come a time where they face the adversity in this game, and they have to ask themselves, even if they drop the game, you know, the thing that creeps up in every athlete's mind is, here we go again. It's the same old stuff. We changed all this, and we got the same results. When that happens, it has to be somebody that says, no, this is different this year. We ain't doing that. Like, you got to, when that thought creeps up, you have to kill the thought immediately. Everybody on the team got to just kill that thought immediately and say, no, it's different. Because if you let that thought creep in your head and you let it linger around, it will turn into this just as another year.
I feel like things is year to year. Like if I asked you about baseball and you said, hey man, the Guardians had a great bullpen, right? Cade Smith is balling. You said that last year. What would you say this year?
I would say he's not balling, and they don't have a great bullpen.
There it is. Like, it's year to year. You can't predict that. Or you say, hey, this team was great getting turnovers last year. Well, hold on. Turnovers is a week to week.
Year to year.
You can't just say that. So this year is a different year. Like, are the Browns on paper not as good as the Bengals? Sure. But the thing about playing is you got to actually go play, and you got an opportunity to kind of build some things. And my question is this: we clamored for Joe Flacco a couple years ago, right? When Deshaun Watson was playing terrible, you said, "Why don't we just bring Flacco back?" They didn't bring him back. Everybody clamored for him, right? Why all of a sudden shouldn't we see any market just improvement in the things that we want to do? Why is it a natural progression that we think that they're just going to be trash? Like, I get that they're not as good.
Who said they're going to be trash?
The overarching theme of people saying they're going to be 3-4 wins, right?
Right.
You part of them.
But here's what I'm saying. I'm coming into it looking at it like this. Yes, if you told me with a gun to my head how many wins they're going to get,
8.
I'm going to have to tell you about 5 or 6.
8.
However, that has no bearing on what the Cleveland Browns should be thinking about. Why would they done hired all these new people? They got the quarterbacks. They told us they got the quarterbacks they wanted. They got Flacco. They had the veteran. They got Dylan Gabriel. We'll figure out if he can play. They got Shador sitting there on ice. They got who they wanted, right? They like these people. They went back to the offense. You got Myles Garrett back. At some point, I just want to see it. Like, let me see that you're a competent team, because it's competent teams every year that win 3 games and then double their totals or go to the playoffs.
Right. And eventually we got to judge them on their wins and losses and not the process and all this nonsense that we keep getting pushed. Listen, when you we all make predictions. That's part of the job. On paper, the Browns look to be one of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion, and the majority of people's opinions. When I make a prediction, I say, if they played the season 100, because there's always the anomalies. If you played the season 100 times, yeah, there'd probably be one time where the Browns would win 10 games somehow because a bunch of freak things happen. And there'd probably be one time where they win 0 games, right? But what result? I always think to myself, if this team played 100 times their schedule, what win total would happen most often? Mm-hmm. And to me, it's either 4 or 5. That's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm. So, Bull, let me ask you this real quick. What's a more likely outcome? And this is the extremes of both sides, just for fun. 9-8 or 0-17?
0-17
is more likely.
Yeah.
Tyvis G, what do you think about that?
Obviously,
you know my answer.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, first of all, going 0-17 is actually very hard to do.
It is.
It's
very
actually.
hard.
It's actually.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying, if I had to bet between the two,
I would go. The reason why
it's the NFL 9-8.
I'll go with 9-8. You know why? Because I like the fact that Joe Flacco is playing for his rest of his career. This is it for you, bro. This your last tour. Mm-hmm. If you you're never Joe Flacco after this year. I don't care what he does. He is never going to be named starting quarterback of another NFL team.
Probably not. Yeah.
So Joe Flacco, go out there and let it hang. Because they looking at you. They trying to put the young dudes in anyway. Yeah. If I'm him, I'm audibling out every play and I'm going up top. I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Mike, are you with these guys or are you with me?
I think going 0.
I'm not saying they're going to go.
No. I know.
I'm saying you made me choose between 9 and 0.
Well,
I had no other option.
I had this on a topic list.
Yeah.
That I never ended up asking because I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was the right time, and it was fit more into like a what's more likely segment than whatnot.
Yeah.
I just think going 0-17 is so incredibly difficult that I think it's more likely they'd win 9 games and just be better than we think than being that atrociously bad where they don't get a single win on the season. So I actually think more likely would be 9-8 because it's more conceivable to me for them to overachieve than to severely underachieve.
Obviously, both are very unlikely.
Let me see.
Well,
I got
to.
Could you put the schedule up real quick?
It's only been
how many? Right now, if you had a point spread for every game, the Browns would be favored in 2 games?
They're favored in 2 games right now.
So let's do the exercise and get them to 9. For them to get to 9,
they'd have to beat the Bengals.
They got to beat the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any way they're going to win in the next 3.
They got the Packers at home, right?
Bring
that back.
Any of the 3.
They'd have to win 3 of the first 5.
Very unlikely to win any of those 3.
I can see them winning. I can see them beating the Packers and the Lions.
So you got to
think they're going to Detroit and beating the Lions?
I can see it happening.
We trying to get them to 9.
I can see. You know why? I'm gonna give it the game where every year you win a game that you're not supposed to. That's the game.
You already gave it the Packers. They're going to be an underdog in that game.
No, I'm going to give them. I think
the Packers. You do forget the Packers got young receivers. They got the one rookie.
Who the hell do the Browns have at receiver?
That guy right there on screen. You take him over anybody else between the Packers and the Browns, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, then.
I'll
So
gi-
what you talking about?
I'll give them the Bengals. I'll give them the Packers.
They have a decent quarterback.
That's 2 for the Packers.
Come on, man. You gonna keep pulling?
Hey, that Vikings?
Jordan Love dealing with a finger injury.
The Vikings is the most winnable
That's-
game
They can win
outside
the
of Cincinnati
Vikings.
on this list.
They can win the Vikings.
So
Well, they can win any game. It's the NFL.
Nah,
I'm
Gee,
predicting that
Gee,
they win beat the Vikings.
I like where G's going. Let's
Okay,
get
go
back
ahead,
to
go
G's
ahead,
point.
go ahead.
All right.
To get to 9 wins, G,
so
in
you-
my
so we
opinion,
had 3.
they have to win 2 of the first 5
So-
because the
so-
schedule then gets easier.
So my thing is, okay, we got to give them. I'm gonna give them the Bengals.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna give them. I think I'm with Tyvis. The Packers is at
and the
home.
Vikings?
Packers is at home.
If it was at Lambeau,
Okay.
it would be different.
Right. Vikings at London. Nasty weather. Quarterback we ain't seen play. That's
Yeah.
3 right there.
All
All right,
right,
let's go to the
there
next.
See, this is where I think the wins come in. I had 2 in the first,
yeah.
but I think you
They're
could
not gonna
legitimately
win
win
it.
3 of these
They
games.
ain't winning in Pittsburgh. I don't think they
So
win in
okay,
Pittsburgh.
but the Dolphins
And the
at
next
the
Dolphins
crib,
get got.
Dolphins
get got.
at the Patriots, we gonna take
Patriots-
that one, and we got the Jets game after the. So
By
how
the
many-
way, every win you've predicted, they will be an underdog in all those
The
games.
Patriots is going to be about
As of now, they would be
physical
an underdog in
toughness.
every one of those games.
That is correct.
They're going to test out if the
Yeah.
Browns is physically tough in the
Oh,
Patriots.
okay.
game.
So we. So look, hold on. Let me get my Kool-Aid real quick.
The Jets.
The Jets.
So we got 3.
Landslide.
That's 6 right there.
Landslide right there with the Jets.
That's
Okay.
6.
We don't go Justin Fields go Bucks, but we
Go ahead.
don't not go ahead. That's
6.
6. Yeah, we're gonna chalk that Ravens up.
You're going to win at Vegas?
That could be a win.
You can win.
Yeah,
You
I
beat
could. Yeah,
Vegas.
there you
Okay.
go.
What about the Niners
so,
at home?
So that's 6 right there. 7 games.
That's 7.
The Niners at home.
They did
No,
it. They did it before.
They did it before, but not so fast.
Well,
my friend.
it depends. Is CMC healthy? Is Brandon Ayuk
It's
healthy?
right.
No, how the hell would I know? I mean,
No,
I mean,
What? Chances are they probably aren't.
You know what? Screw that. We got the 49ers
all
too.
right, so that's 8.
That's
That's 8.
Yeah, give me the Niners. Give
You
us
gonna
over
beat the
Niners.
Titans?
They
That's
beat
9.
the Titans.
The Titans,
That's
that's a rookie QB.
That's
That's
9.
9. Hold on,
And the
Tyvis.
Browns, that's the first game the Browns might be favored in.
That is
game.
no, that is the
we
first
get
game.
to
they're-
Caleb Williams.
Listen now,
Caleb Williams right there.
You gotta beat the Bears.
We pulled 9 wins week 14. You know that little graphic they
Yeah,
show
yeah, yeah. In the hunt. We in the hunt.
No,
Let's go.
Tyvis, not true. Tyvis, not true. If they have 9 wins at week 14, they will not be in the hunt. They will
Yeah.
be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
The
yeah, right.
They'll be in the playoffs.
Hey now.
Now let's get it together. Travel. We'll be doing this.
It's gonna be cold in Chicago.
It's gonna be one of
It's
them
gonna be
ones
cold in
That's
Chicago.
on the road. And we pull it out. That's 10 right there.
All right, let's keep
That's
going.
crazy. That's crazy. That's 10. Now these
ones-
These ones. That's all L's to me.
No, they might.
No.
They might beat the Steelers at home.
Well, you got 10
They might
anyway.
beat the
You know,
Steelers
you,
at
now
home.
you got 11?
I give us the Steelers at home. I give us 11. Bang! Look at that.
The Steelers.
And
Need,
here I was saying 8-9.
all them teams is gonna need.
I was being humble all this time.
To make the playoffs. All 3 of them teams at the end
Yeah.
need to jockey for position,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna play with us. But even with that,
10 wins. Mike, let me ask you a question. You said the
That's
Browns
not wild.
are favored right now in 2 games. What's the other game they're favored besides the Titans?
So I asked
Jets.
Cleve TA this.
You what?
Our guy Cleve TA.
Yeah.
We had talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
And we had guessed they might be favored in 4 games. And Cleve TA, who if you don't follow Cleve TA, go follow Cleve TA,
Yeah.
responded. And this was 2 months. This is right after the schedule came out.
Yeah.
The Titans they were favored in, and then in one of the home games against go to the second slate of games. I think it was the Dolphins. The home against the Dolphins, they were a slight favorite.
Now,
Like,
obviously, it depends how the teams are playing
Yeah.
at that time and injuries and stuff like that.
I believe the Titans for sure. I believe.
But he
or
thinks
go
at
to
the
next
beginning
one.
of the year, the Browns would be favored over the Dolphins at home. All right. It's maybe.
Yeah, he said it was like a 1.5 point line, like
Okay.
basically a pick 'em.
so let me give you this.
So the Browns, you guys are predicting that the Browns will win 8 games that they're an underdog in.
So
I don't know if that.
By
that point, I guess they wouldn't be an underdog in all those games if they won as many early as you thought.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to show you the pathway to it. It might not happen,
Yeah.
but these
Yeah.
are the set of circumstances that would need to get you there. Now watch
Yeah.
this. Now, obviously, the defense has to play very well.
Sure.
This says, okay, Carson Schlesinger, I'm telling you
It's
right
like
now,
JOK.
Carson Schlesinger.
He's got to be great.
They're gonna have this guy 100-some tackles. They're gonna have tackle leaders that you didn't even know
Yeah,
about.
it can't even be just tackles. He's got to be
Impact.
like JOK was such an
Picks,
impact player,
tackles,
Yeah.
fumble recovery, all that good stuff.
and Mason Graham's got to
And
be great.
Mason Graham has to be
That dude.
He has to be the dude that says, "Hey, remember G. Bush? You told me you was gonna quit. Yeah, you owe me an apology." When
Those two guys got to be great. Delpit's got to get back on track. Newsom's got to be really good.
Denzel Ward can't miss that many games. We gonna give him 4.
I'm not worried about him, but
Cam Mitchell or whoever is the nickel better be balling because I'm telling you.
Oh no, I don't think he's gonna be.
You don't think he's gonna be the starter?
I factored
now
in
you get
somebody
carried
else.
away.
Yeah,
You get too carried away for G. Bush.
Cam
Wait,
Mitchell. Cam.
wait a minute. Are they gonna get an outside guy or a new nickel?
Man, they gonna
slide G.
Tyvus, what is on your hat, by the way? What are those things
Oh, I
on
don't
your
know.
hat?
Those are good. I like that.
Cardell stopped by and gave me this hat.
I like this.
I just threw it
Well,
on.
what is it? Are those like
I don't know.
like fake diamonds?
Those
Or
are-
are they
those are
real
called-
diamonds? Or
Bull. In the world of fashion,
Baguettes.
Yeah.
in the world of fashion, that is called embellishments.
Yeah?
Those are
I'm just
accent.
It's a bedazzled hat.
It's an accent pieces that make your hat pop.
You just been
Okay.
staring at it, huh?
Yeah,
that's why.
That's
what it
why.
was, yeah.
He was like, "Dang, what is that?"
It
over
didn't
there?"
make it pop.
Yeah,
it
just
got my
like, what the heck is
curiosity.
that?